Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Everybody, welcome right back to the channel. Welcome right back. Listen, man, it was some great stuff this weekend happening. The finals for sure, the NBA finals and the Stanley Cup finals. But before we get into all that, right? My name is Isaiah Austin. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel, the IDA Kings Video Production channel. Okay, if you want to know when I post and upload new videos, hit that notification bell for me. Hit the hype button. If you like the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the videos, hit the like button on all the videos. Definitely appreciate y'all for sure. Been going at it for a little bit. Have a few subscribers. Definitely appreciate all the subscribers that are, that subscribed. And hopefully we get a few more, plenty more in the future. It takes time, but it'll get there for sure. You know what I'm saying? They'll get better. The videos will even get better and more exciting too. But getting into it though, both series were actually really fun, entertaining. Talked about different games and stuff like that. But in the Stanley Cup in Game 6, the Hurricanes ended up beating the Golden Knights 3-0. In each period, they ended up scoring. Hurricanes ended up scoring 1 point in the first period, another point in the second period, and another goal. They scored 3 different goals in 3 different periods, right? So that's how the 3-0 score led. With almost 19 to 20 minutes, though, the Golden Knights didn't even get a attempt at the goal, though. Like, they didn't even get an attempt. Hurricanes were great defensively in this Game 6. Fantastic, man. They did a great job. They were fantastic. This is their second Stanley Cup championship in their history. They did a great job. They did something historically as well. They had 2 sweeps. I think they lost in the conference finals 1 game, and then they lost 2 games in the Stanley Cup finals. That is a historical run right there, only having 3 losses in the whole entire Stanley Cup playoff run that they have going into championships and winning that. That was legendary and magical stuff. They did a great job. I forgot the name of the goal tender. He was amazing, man. I mean, there were times that the Golden Knights, it felt like they were going to get a few scores, different points of the game, and he just stuffed them, especially in that third period, really. That third period was really where he did a great job, a fantastic job of stopping everything real close, getting stop after stop, not letting that puck go through the nets. He did a fantastic job right there. Overall, they did a fantastic job. I'm gonna start watching more hockey for sure. Definitely will. Definitely will start watching more hockey. Definitely will start getting into it more. I'm pretty excited about that. As you know, this channel keeps going and keeps growing. I'm definitely gonna talk about that more. And really watch it. I want to go to games. Never been to a hockey game either, but definitely excited to check out hockey, man, because it's fun. It looks fun, and it seems definitely fun. And I enjoyed watching different games this year and stuff, and trying to learn things about hockey as best I can. Also, the Knicks did something that the Hurricanes did too, and that is they didn't lose 4 games either. They lost in the first round to the Hawks 2 games, right? They were down 2-1. And then from there, they went on a big-time win streak. I think they ended up winning, believe, 4, 8, maybe 13 games straight until they lost a Game 3 in the finals, if I'm not mistaken. I know they had 2 sweeps. That was 8 games right there. Then, they had 3 more wins right there. That's 11. And then 2, yeah, it was 13. So, because after going down 2-1, they, in the series against the Hawks, I'm saying, they ended up winning, 3 games in that series to win that against the Hawks in 6. Then they swept the 76ers. They also swept the Cavs, and then they lost 1 game against the Knicks, and then they end up getting a big win, against them in the closeout game in Game 5, and the winning 4-1. Now, every game in the finals, they were down by double figures. In the fourth quarter, it seemed like they were down in every game in the fourth quarter. In this Game 5, there was no exception. They were down by 15, 16. and they were down double figures again in the fourth as well. They were down by a good amount here. They ended up coming back, making a historical comeback as well. Made a historical comeback, obviously, the game before in Madison Square Garden. Definitely give credit where credit is due. And it was fantastic, man. It was amazing. It was greatness overall. It was a real fun series from an overall perspective. And they just kept grinding, kept fighting, and kept really doing their thing. Jalen Brunson had one of the most historical playoff runs we've seen. You have the Michael Jordans, the LeBrons, the Kobes, the Kawhis. Just different players having historical runs in the postseason, whether they won a championship or not. But Jalen Brunson had a historical run. Jalen Brunson might be the best New York Knicks player in the history of the sport in New York of basketball, man. Seriously, man, he's a beast. Since he's been in New York, he became a Hall of Famer. Like, he was doing great with Dallas, doing a good job. He wanted to be there. They really could have offered him the 4-year, $55 million. They really didn't. They were dragging their feet on it. They really were waiting, and then they basically came off as like they didn't want him. And Brunson took his talents. He ended up demanding more because they really could have signed him at the beginning of the year to a 4-year, $55 million, or at least before the halfway mark, and they didn't. And the Mavericks put themselves in bad situations. But they've done that a long time. But we'll get into that probably in another video. But Jalen Brunson then goes to New York. Julius Randle set the foundation. He came there when other superstars didn't even want to go there, and helped, with that foundation. Then Jalen Brunson came to the team, was there with Julius Randle a few years, and then all of a sudden they made a trade and ended up getting Karl-Anthony Towns, and since then the rest is history. And Jalen Brunson did some magical stuff in every postseason run that he's had with the Knicks. Just flat out magical, flat out legendary, flat out special. And I got to give him a lot of credit. Got to give credit to Mikal Bridges. I know he was struggling in the series, but he was competing. OG Anunoby was amazing in the series overall. Karl-Anthony Towns was really good in the series overall as well. Coach Mike Brown, he's a real great coach. He's a Hall of Fame coach in my opinion. He did some great things with the Cavs, going to get some tough battles, and then learned a lot of great coaching. I thought he was doing a good job. I know the Lakers, they had their ups and downs, but he was. I think they still made the playoffs one of those years. Then they let him go. Shouldn't have done that, in my opinion. And then he went to Sacramento, helped them get to the playoffs. Was in the game 7 against Steph Curry, and then he gets to New York after they let him go. Wrong decision by the Kings, in my opinion. Then he came to New York and won a championship as a head coach. Flat out amazing stuff right there from him and stuff like that. Their coaching staff was amazing. People gave James Dolan a lot of flack, which is understandable, especially since he took over the Knicks. They've really been bad, but they finally got it together. And I believe the general manager, I'm trying to get his name right, Leon Rose. I apologize if I got the name incorrectly. But man, they figured it out. They put the right pieces. Jalen Brunson took a pay cut. I said, let me tell you something. They better make sure that they win, because that brother took a pay cut. He believes in them, and they did it. And I thought they had to do it. They had to pay players. They had to do some things because he took a pay cut. The Knicks, to me, had to win a championship at some point under him. They had to really do that, at least get to the finals. And not only did they did that, they won. And I got to give a lot of credit to New York. I was never a New York hater. My dad, shout out to my dad. He's from New York, man. Never a New York hater. It's just a little expensive, I heard, down there, man, up here in New York. But all seriousness, though, man, they deserved it, man. They went through a lot, man, since the 70s. Really in sports in general, right? The Giants struggled a little bit throughout recent history, but they won some Super Bowls. The Mets are, they're not that great in baseball, but there's lot, a lot of toughness. And the Yankees been great, historically, still are now. But they've had their ups and downs in New York when it comes to sports overall, man. Brooklyn Nets, obviously, New Jersey, they say they don't count. But that's a whole nother ballgame. But overall, New York's had their ups and downs, their struggles. But overall, man, I gotta give credit, man, to them. They deserve it. The fans have went without. I remember, I'm from Ohio. I remember when the Cleveland Sports hasn't won a major title since the last 46 years until LeBron and Kyrie Irving and the Cavs end up winning the championship at 16. So they're gonna have fun. And I heard the parade is on Thursday. They're gonna have fun. The Knicks are. So give credit to a lot of the players, man. They did a great job this year. They probably were expected to at least get out the East because of some injuries, and I know they weren't the 1 seed. The Pistons and the Celtics ended up getting 1 and 2. The Knicks looked like they were going to have some. They would look like they were going to lose the first round the way it was going, but then it's like they woke up and they found a way to get it done. So gotta give them a lot of credit, man. The East is not a weak conference overall. When people are healthy in the East, that conference is really good. I got to give a lot of credit to that conference, man. They're getting better. It's been rough. Well, I wouldn't say too rough. I think, when Jordan, LeBron, they're playing in it, it might look weaker than what it is. But there's some great teams throughout history that came through the East. Some legendary teams that came through the East as well. But it's hard to beat players like LeBron and Michael and Scotty and all. It's hard to beat players like that in the Eastern Conference and things of that nature. Hard to beat teams like them. So I got to give credit to some of them teams in the East. It's going to keep getting better and better in the East. I really do believe that. But the West, man, is still tough, still great. The Spurs had a great year. They did some great things. They were competitive against Portland. They went through some ups and downs against the Timberwolves and in Oklahoma City, but they found a way to get wins. They were up in every game in the finals, but there were just things they did that was if they would have did better, they could have beat the Knicks, right? And there's nothing to take away from the Knicks. You got to call it out. For example, like Fox made too many mistakes. Mike Brown called it out in terms of him making a mistake against, I believe it was the Hawks when they were up 3. But Fox, and I remember a lot of situations where he did it, where he, and it might have been in the play-in, it might have been in the regular season too, where he just made bad decisions. Like, he's fouling when he's not supposed to foul. He's just making piss-poor decisions. One game when they were doing the play-in tournaments and all that, he was missing free throws. Seemed like he was missing on purpose. I guess the Warriors, it might have been with Steph Curry. It was just bad, man. It was just some stuff he's doing overall that I'm shocked that he's just doing, and it's been blatant. It was just been blatant like crazy, to the point where people are saying he's blatantly betting on games and all this crazy stuff. That's how bad it looks right now. But Fox was really one of the main people that weren't playing that well. I'm struggling down the stretch, turning the ball over, making bad decisions. He's really the main one. They did a good job overall, I believe, on Wemby. I think Wemby was trying to be aggressive, but I think the Knicks were trying to contain him as best they can. And honestly, I think the Spurs did a solid job containing Brunson, making him shoot some tough shots. But, Brunson in the fourth quarters was taking over, man. He figured it out. He played through contact. I know he was trying to draw fouls and get fouls, but he played through it. But I thought both teams defensively were good. I think there were stretches where both teams did some great things offensively, and then the Knicks just took over, man. They called back up from 29 down, the most ever in a playoff game, and they just did some great stuff, man. But the Spurs will get better. Fox has a big contract. He has a good contract too. 50 plus million going into 60 million in the next 4 years. I think 50 between 2 years is going to be in the 50 million range. I think the next year or two is going to be in the $60 million range. So it's going to be interesting. what they do if they can do anything. But I think they got a good roster. I think they got to make a few changes. But I think the Spurs are in great position, man. And so I'm pretty excited about that. And I think the Knicks are too, man. I think the Knicks got some. They're in good positions. They're in great positions. So I'm pretty excited about them too, the Knicks. But overall, man, it's been a fun finals in both, and especially with the NBA. I'll try to do a recap on that. But also, there's so many breaking news things when it comes, especially when it comes to football, college football, especially in the NFL. Just wild stuff, wild stories that we got to get into and cover. But also get into different things. Try different food places, different things of that nature. Go to different food places, and record and do mukbangs and just try different restaurants and figure that part out. So it's gonna be entertaining. I'm pretty excited about a lot of things that's gonna happen on this channel. A lot of things we're gonna be talking about. Talk about the UFL and the playoffs there. So it's gonna be a lot of fun coming up. I definitely appreciate the support and stuff too. Shout out to my brother. He been watching the videos, liking the videos, man. Appreciate him. We're gonna do something special too together, man. We're gonna start something together too. Trying to get him into the YouTube thing, man. And I think he'll be great. I think he'll probably be better than me for sure in the future. Yeah, he's gonna definitely be. He's gonna be special though. He's gonna be special with YouTube, man. You gotta be careful. Hopefully you don't get demonetized. Some of the stuff he might say, but can't wait though. But overall, it's gonna be fun though. I can't wait. But definitely appreciate it. And again, we're gonna end it here, man. But definitely appreciate y'all. If you like the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, hit the like button on all the videos from the start all the way down. From when we with college football, man, earlier in the year, September, man. So please, last year, please like all the videos, watch them. Give me give me feedback, man, for real, and I'll do my best to even do better. Do that for me. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, hit the hype button. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. Love and peace, man. Y'all have a good one.